As a dungeon master, I've come to realize that bards are the bane of my existence. Brother, I had a hell of a session planned out last night, and with one spell, my bard just nerfed it. So my party's pretty good. I don't like to brag, so I decided to throw a little challenge at them. They're over here running a little side quest, picking up a failed delivery from a very shady tavern owner. One thing led to another, and now they're investigating an abandoned mine filled with necromancers. Now they're traveling from room to room. They're seeing the bodies, corpses of dead adventurers. Of course they ran in their pockets. They're over here fighting off undead in cramped tunnels, ghouls coming from the north, gas coming from the south. And the magically inclined characters are feeling these pulses of dark magic. They don't know what it is, but it feels like it's coming to a climax. And it's all sealed behind this giant metal door with a skull and growing green eyes. The dwarf fighter smacked it with a hammer. The bard called its mother fat. They both took 15 necrotic damage. All that to say, behind that door was a cultist fanatic, 3 cultists, and a zombie beholder. Our party was only level 4, but they had 2 NPCs. I believed in them. The whole idea was the cult fanatic was gonna be casting whole person, making it extra scary to deal with the zombie beholder, who's already shooting disintegration beams. And the rogue felt that shit. But as soon as it went to the bard's turn, he merely cast suggestion and told the cultist fanatic to just off through the portal. And just like that, a deadly encounter just got infinitely easier. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's great by on the beholder, but goddamn. I DM for a party that's full of agents of goddamn chaos. So they pull up to a cave. It's over here reeking necrotic energy. They're sent there for 2 things and 2 things only: to retrieve a package and get some revenge. Now at one point, ghouls over here coming up from one end of the tunnel, gas coming from that end of the tunnel. It's a very cramped situation, but the druid, she turns into a cat and jumps on past the gas. She ends up in this room, rolls an investigation check, finds the package they're looking for, and decides to tuck it in her cloak. Doesn't tell a soul. Fast forward, they fight the cult leader. The bard tells the cult leader to fuck off through a portal. They kill a zombie beholder, and she harvests the eye stock. That was the session before last. Now, this last session that just happened, we spent like the first hour and a half searching around the rest of the dungeon for this package that we all know that she has. The paladin is sensing the fucking evil radiating off that shit. She's just sitting there like, I love when my party does this, because now we just gotta play it the fuck out. The original plan was they were gonna have to decide between who gets the package out of the 2 NPCs that they met on this quest. They somehow managed to calm down the paladin from his self-righteous fucking crusade against evil with some very mediocre, specifically mediocre fucking fish in a good persuasion roll. They return the package back to the quest giver. Things seem like they're calming down. They're chilling in the tavern talking shit, and there's a giant fucking fireball that hits them. As the flame spreads and the chaos, this fucking druid decides that, hey, I saw when the quest giver left that package. I want to run back there and grab it real fast before we step outside to see what the fuck hurled that fireball at us. They have spent every single last moment destroying my plans, but they have given me so fucking much to work with, and I love them. As a dungeon master, there's nothing that I love more than a player that just says fuck it. You just got finished dropping some goddamn Shakespeare on his head. The DM narration was sinister, full of tragedy, foreboding. And instead of joining the rest of the party so they can go deliberate over the situation, they run head first. They full send it. Maybe they're trying to speed things up. Maybe they just showing initiative. In those moments, it gives me, the DM, the ability to drop some consequences on their head. And boy, do I love me some consequences. Go ahead, give them disadvantage on a perception check and have their ass fall into a spike pit trap. Or maybe in their dead sprint, they run straight into an orb of annihilation. Ayo, at that point, it's out my hands. But we'll always have an amazing story to tell. Now go ahead and follow me for more D&D content. And leave your own D&D stories in the comments below.